I would like to call the meeting to order at 7:09 on Thursday, July 6th. Lakeview Area 58 for filming tonight. Would anybody in the audience like to be acknowledged and scheduled at this time? Seeing nobody. We need to review and vote the regular and executive session minutes of June 5th, 2017.
These probably need to stay together.
Are they in my file too? Or are they just in your file?
You know what? Lisa did not put the executive session in here. She just got back on vacation today. She didn't put the executive session in for June. So we'll just have the regular ones.
Okay. At this time, we need to review and vote the regular minutes for May 1st of 2017. Linda, would you like to make a motion regarding these minutes?
Make a motion to hold them.
Review and hold them?
Yeah, so I can really just read through and think about that.
Any second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Okay. We're review and hold those. Do you want to wait on the minutes for June, Linda, till the end of, okay. So I need a motion to review and approve and release the minutes for June 5th, 2017. Any second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Warrants are circulating.
And the executive old
I
ones,
thought,
we just want to, we have to review and.
I misunderstood when
Yeah,
you
I'm
said that
sorry.
you were gonna, okay. Oh, you're right, it's a different date, sorry.
That's okay.
On the executive session minutes, we are looking to, I need a motion to review and hold the minutes from Monday, December 7th, 2015.
Yep.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor of reviewing and holding these minutes?
Aye.
And we need a motion to approve and release the minutes from the February 1st meeting in 2016.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can I see them? Yeah.
You had them last month, we just didn't make new copies again, I'm sorry. We gave them at least, yeah. Did I get it to you? Did we mail it? Sorry, that should have happened.
Okay,
Where did that go?
space.
Sorry, Kim.
Warrants are circulating. School committee correspondence and reports. I have none. Anybody else receive any?
The only correspondence I received was a request from the Halifax paraprofessionals to begin negotiations the second week in September. So we could set up dates that are convenient for you in summer, if that's okay.
Sure.
Sounds good. Unfinished business. I'd like to finish reorganizing.
Yep.
Can we do that?
Let's please.
Okay. So, first and foremost, we need somebody to step up and do Pilgrim Area Collaborative. So I attended their 2 June meetings, or 1 June meeting, to approve the budget and so forth. And we made a new meeting schedule at that meeting for the following year, for the 2017-18 year. So they are currently going to be meeting the first Thursday of the month at 6 p.m. Their next meeting is October 5th. Is there anybody that can do that?
Where are the meetings?
In Pembroke at the Hatch Building in, it's called the Pilgrim Area Collaborative.
Is it always the first Thursday?
Yeah, so it used to be,
No, I can't commit right now because I don't know. I always have soccer at least one of those days and implement.
Yeah.
So I can't.
I could do it.
you can?
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. It's kind of a big commitment, like, it just because it's so important to our community. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a huge time commitment, it's just an important one, I guess is the good word. So that'd be fantastic, Allison, thank you so much. Joy, do you send them a letter to
I
let
do.
them know? Okay, so Joy will send them a letter to let them know that you're gonna be the representative from Halifax, and then they'll mail you or email you a bunch of stuff, you know, like their
Schedule and,
schedule, open meeting law, you have to go online and do some ethics type thing, so that'd be fantastic. Thank you, Allison. Okay, so I guess I can either go through the list, or people can just kind of tell me what they want to do. How do you guys want to handle this?
Can I just ask him something?
Yeah.
If I were to take, because the way my schedule is, if I were to take PTO and/or youth and rec off of your hands, would that free you up to do something else?
I'm gonna be in PTO anyway. You can take youth and rec if you want.
I mean, I was just trying-
I wasn't here last meeting, so I'm not sure where people need to be.
Oh, we have, yeah, on the right-hand side is all the blanks of where we are.
So I was
At
just
right
thinking,
now.
because those are things that I could do to free up you to do something else. So that was my thought, that you could have PTO anyway.
Yeah. I'm right there anyway.
So I could be her alternate,
For PTO?
yeah,
Okay,
because she's going anyway, so.
okay. So do you want to take youth and
I'll
rec?
take youth and rec,
I
so
can be the
that,
alternate. I can-
okay, we can switch.
Okay.
I'll do the alternate again.
No,
She just said-
Kim is.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to fight
I
over
know.
it? So Kim or Bob for alternate?
no,
So-
for youth and rec, I think it was Kim,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so now we need written policy. That hardly ever meets.
What is
There
that?
will be a meeting in the fall. We just got a ton of updates from MASC,
Oh, okay,
like a ton.
okay. They're usually pretty quick, though.
I try,
Yeah, okay.
but they're not as quick as I would like.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you're okay, that would be great. Usually the chair is on that.
Well, yeah, that's why I figured I would stay, but we
But I
need
do
two
need a
people.
second. Yeah.
And obviously,
What's that time?
It's,
Or when?
It-
I can do that.
you can do that one? Okay, thank you.
it's basically like whenever everybody can be. Joy sends out a time, and then if it works
Yep,
for
and I
everybody.
try to get all the committees simultaneously, so.
So we need an alternate for negotiations.
I can do that.
Awesome. We need an alternate for Union 31.
And that means when?
About 4 or 5 times a year,
Yeah.
How about Bob?
3, 4.
How about Bob?
We got Summer, Allison.
Alternate?
Yep.
Yeah, it's very female dominated right now, Bob.
Like this isn't?
I get a good point there.
We used to have 3 dudes here, you know?
You scared him away.
So do you want to be the alternate?
Yeah, why not? Have to do something, I guess.
Yeah, you do. And in fact, we have admin review coming up. It's the next one, so why don't you jump on that too?
When do they meet?
Admin review will meet in the fall to review my goals and approve, and then also they'll be meeting around January, February, when we have any contracts that are up.
As long as
Like-
somebody tells me when and where.
Yep, yeah, my contract will be up next year, so at some point, Bill will have to, it's been 3 years,
Do you
yeah,
want to stay?
I know. Huh?
Do you want to stay?
Depends what day you ask me.
Don't
No, of course I do.
So we need an
So-
alternate for,
So you'll be on
Yeah.
admin review, and then Bob's alternate, is that what?
no, Bob's the guy.
Oh, Bob's the guy, okay. Usually it's sort of
I'm
the
the guy.
opposite of,
Okay, all right, I'll,
chair, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you're right, that's fine, I'll stay.
Casey was it only because.
She'd been there for so long?
Yeah,
So
Right.
Summers.
Now what, so I'm the alternate now?
Yeah, so now you really don't have to come if I go, which I usually do, like kids in tow, so.
Yeah.
Gated on that one.
yeah.
Kim, do you want to stay on bylaw?
Yeah, that's never met. That's a good one to be.
Yeah. Linda, you want to be the alternate? Because it never meets? Okay. So then we have capital budget, which,
It's sort of a meeting when we have finance and they want to go over like capital items.
yeah, like what our plan is moving
Yeah.
forward.
That is a rarely meeting one.
But I also wonder if that person should be going to all the roof meetings.
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
I suppose that should probably be me, even though I feel like that's a lot for me to hold. Yeah, huh, probably.
Probably wouldn't be the worst.
Okay,
It's during the day, and right now that sort of works for you.
yeah. Okay, and then we're just absolving this?
I think, yeah, I
Okay.
think we are.
And budget's all of us. All right, guys, we did it. Fantastic.
So can I remove building and safety? Just remove it from the thing?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think that
That's fine.
we
Yeah.
all sort of
Yep.
discussed that
All
together.
right, I'll make sure I type that up and we'll get that redistributed.
Awesome, thank you, Joy. New business.
You hit the easy button.
I just, on these two executive sessions, I was at both of these, but I'm not listed as being at me.
No, this is 2015.
Oh,
Wait a
yeah.
minute, wait a minute.
I
Was
was
it
there in December, and I was there as a meeting. Oh, okay. I guess that's why I didn't get it.
Yeah, this Sliger is listed here.
Oh, so I guess not.
Yeah.
Well, these are really old then.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are
they are
old.
old. They're really old. You're supposed to review them periodically.
Oh,
But why was this says February 2016.
Right, she came on at the end of, in June of 2016.
okay. Yes, that's right. Okay, I guess that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can, whatever, yeah.
Sorry, thanks.
Oh, no, that's okay.
So under new business, Linda, you had asked to review the data privacy policy here in the building, or you wanted to talk about it?
I'm sorry?
The data privacy?
Oh, okay, we're doing that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to start the conversation as I delve into it. It's kind of overwhelming. The reason why I wanted to bring it up was I read how Edmodo had a data breach, and we don't use Edmodo in the school though, correct? No. But I just want to bring it up because we do use it at the other schools, and how did they notify you there was a data breach?
Yeah. So Edmodo is not one of the programs that the school supports. You know, we have some teachers who individually have programs that they log on to. We use Google Classroom is the main thing that we use, but we
some of
have...
the teachers use
Some teachers use Edmodo. It depends on the building, on the level. When the Edmodo hack happened, Jim Nunes, who's our network administrator, sent out an email that same day, which was May 15th, to all the staff informing them, and he just wanted to make them aware that Edmodo was recently compromised and many of their accounts were affected. Anyone who uses this service should change their password for Edmodo as soon as possible. If you use the same password, you should change your password at those sites for well. You know, some people have one password they use at a bunch of sites. They monitor the internal sites and the security of our data. So it isn't something that we're not aware of, that we're not watching. We discussed it before, and I don't know if you remember last year, I think you had brought up a concern with it. The passwords are protected. They're also encrypted, so it's not like even if they break in that they can get into the accounts. So
And were the student or parents notified as well?
there wouldn't be a reason to notify parents.
But what about the kids who log on to Edmodo?
What happens is the passwords that they used were not usable because they were encrypted. So they couldn't, what they were doing was trying to get a login of the people who were doing it and then access their accounts, but the passwords are encrypted through our system, so.
Well, I guess there was a data breach. They did fix it quickly, so give Edmodo credit for that. But it also makes me nervous that it happened in the first place, why was there this access? I don't know what the right terminology to use, but the back door, whatever it was. So it just made me concerned about the third parties that we use. I know the FERPA laws, the national FERPA laws aren't that protective. They basically say, we won't share your information with anyone unless it's educational. So a company could say, hey, I want the information because of, they can, basically, it's like a loophole. So there's not a lot of data privacy there. does the state level or the local level do any more than what the FERPA laws do to protect?
We have, each district has their own firewalls, has their own security system, and we have a system that I'm pretty confident of. I think, when you had asked before, we had come in with a lot of different data. I was specifically looking at your question, which is what I looked at. It is difficult to protect. I mean, I'm sure if you have a credit card at TJ Maxx, if you have a credit card at any number of places, I'm sure at some point you have known of someone whose credit card. Yeah, so, I'm not sure that, the world is such that short of not having technology, which is not an
But
option.
can we get our vendors to agree not to share our students' information?
We don't sign contracts where our students' information is shared.
I'm sorry, say that.
We don't sign contracts where our students' information is shared.
So the vendors that we use, we don't have any contracts?
we don't.
So it's just the parent going on and reading the privacy policy when they sign up for the service?
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying.
Confused too. Do
No,
you know what I'm trying to say?
I do, but I think you're missing what Joy's saying.
Okay,
If I'm understanding this
Yeah.
correctly.
Services where the service shares the information.
Right.
How do you,
Because we sign contracts when we purchase things.
okay.
And so we don't work with companies. We have some ability with our contracts. We don't say, oh yeah, we're going to sign up for this service and we understand you're going to share our students' information. We're okay with that as long as we can access your
So
service.
name one of the things your kid uses.
IXL, I think she says.
So like those things there,
We don't share those students' information is not shared.
so they use it on the computers here and nobody has access to it?
We wouldn't sign up for a process where our students' names and information is shared.
Again, I don't know enough about it to know there's no way that they can access that. I'm just trying to think.
When the kids sign up for something like IXL, all they do is type in, they only get a username and password.
That's right.
There's no other.
There's no identifying information.
Yeah, but with technology, again, I can't describe how, but they can look at the IP address and all that. They do have, you know the deal. You go on and you look at shoes on, on Macy's, and then you go on Facebook and you see the shoes on sale at Macy's. Like there's tracking that can happen.
Right. I guess I'm not understanding what it is that your expectation is for the school to do, because that's
Well, I'm
sort of the
happy to
bottom
hear
line.
that we don't have vendors.
Right.
That's good. Do we use iCloud for our kids' stuff?
No.
Okay, that's awesome, because that's, can be problematic. Something else. So when the kids use these, the software that we use here, do parents have to, is there privacy things at all that they have to look at, or is it all just, you make a password and that's it, and you move on?
I don't even think the IXL is a real, it's not even a real email address that we use.
No,
It's at SLRSD, but
right.
it's not a real email address
Right.
that they use to sign up.
Right.
So there's nothing to follow, there's no
way for them to track it back
to the,
to the
it's just,
specific person.
yeah.
Are there any software that we use that could?
I don't believe so.
Probably not, a lot of the.
Except for like their Google account, right?
Well, the Google account is through SLRSD email. Everything is controlled through our email.
And again, it's not even a real
right.
email account for
Yeah,
the kids.
exactly.
Here, you can't email
They can't email me anything, it's just for
Oh.
using for educational purposes.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can't send an email.
No, exactly.
You can't send them an email.
No.
It's not
Yeah.
real email.
Yeah, it's a controlled email, so we can access and control the accounts within the schools, within our firewalls, within our protection.
And do you have access, well, the kids here don't have their own,
They don't
don't
even
have their device.
No,
Right?
no.
Well, because the high school is different. You just say something else, and, what did you just say, something about?
I was just saying that it's not even, it's just a username and password, and there's no way of tracking it back to the individual.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say.
There's no other personal.
When teachers want to do software, are those things that they have to check in, or are they not, or are they like Allison was just talking about, where they're not able to, like, are students using things that they could be tracked if a teacher wants to sign up for a new thing, you know what I mean? Like, are teachers trying to use, do teachers have to check in before they decide to use a new program?
Software.
Software, yeah. Again,
No, teachers can't use any kind of software without going through Steve Bell.
Yeah. Yeah, we have different controls where they can't set things up without going through our technology people.
And Brian
No, I
and
just-
we can't.
Yeah. Like, I can't watch YouTube on school, and I'm the superintendent, you know, if something's going on. I mean, our controls have controls.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, there's a
Yeah,
lot
like I
of,
said, I'm ignorant.
right. Yeah, I mean, I know it's a concern, and, you know, we addressed it before. Again,
When I read that about Edmodo, and I said,
Sure, no,
"Oh,"
and I understand that,
and
yeah.
I didn't,
Yeah, no, and I did, you know, when I received your email, I immediately emailed all our tech, and, you know, they wrote me lengthy emails of exactly what had happened, the time it happened, you know, what they did, the controls they put in place. It's not what we use. There are some people who use Edmodo. It was the system before Google, so we have some people who were used to Edmodo, they liked it, you know, I mean, it's sort of, you get what you get used to. But, you know, Google Classroom is what we use. It's really sort of our process, which is all controlled through the
and we use it in the
SLSD.
school as well, Google Classroom?
Yeah, they have different, oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But even
So-
with the Edmodo, even though it
Yeah.
was hacked, all the students' passwords were encrypted.
Exactly.
There was nothing for them to
Exactly, and there was
Yeah,
nothing
but I
there.
don't trust him.
Right, right, and again, you know, as I said, short of not using technology, I believe we have a good system, you know, and I am not going to not use technology. I just, we can't have children today and not have access to it here.
Well, I think too much technology is not good.
I'm not saying it isn't, but I mean, there is, you know, it is.
We're the middle ground. I mean, one school I read the Waldorf School in California, all the Silicon Valley people send their school to them, and there's no computers in it.
My niece goes to Waldorf, and
Oh, really?
yeah, and could do it on the
Yeah.
Cape. They don't have any technology. They don't even have any plastic. Everything is wood.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which is a Waldorf
But here are the
philosophy.
people that are, you know, making computers, and they're saying they don't want.
They're sending their kids to Waldorf school.
Yeah, they're spending $18,000 a year to go to
Crazy.
school to know. So I'm for chalk and teachers. But thank you for answering my questions. I do want to research Google Classroom because I've heard some bad things about Google, so I'd like to research that.
Well, feel free to bring it to our attention in the future. I like that you tackle these
That I'm
things.
paranoid?
Yeah, but it's important. Our children's safety is important, and you can never have enough people looking out for that,
No, like
honestly.
I said, when I was using a company, they were going to say to me, oh, we do this thing, the cookies, and we track, and if someone clicks on your website, the ad will follow them, just like I explained, you know, when you're looking at boots at LL Bean or whatever. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. To me, that's
Creepy.
harassment, yeah. So I know technology is used in that way, and I just want to protect our kids from it, so thank you very much.
You're welcome. Future agenda items, anybody? Okay. Report of standing committees. Policy,
We'll have a meeting in the fall. We will have quite a few policies to review.
and you will certainly email us on
I
what.
will indeed.
Okay. Negotiations, we have met, we shall chat about that in a bit. So Pilgrim Area Collaborative, as I said, we met, we voted the new Board of Directors schedule, which is the first Thursday of the month at 6 o'clock, and the next meeting is October 5th, but you'll get like a ton of info before then. We went over the budget and gave it a final approval, which was great. They managed to, I should have wrote this down, I don't want to, whenever I say level service, they mean level fund, and whenever I say level fund, they mean level service. But basically,
Level service.
yeah, level service is staying. They made some adjustments. I know that we talked about that large tuition increase recently, but because of that, you know, things are moving in a positive direction at PAC, so that's good. They also presented a district plan overview, much like we do here, with different goals for the district and criteria that they hope to meet over the next year. I believe it was a year-long plan, and so it looks pretty in-depth, and I'm sure you'll be getting a copy of that also, Allison. And it's just was really neat to learn about what was going on there. So that's it in a nutshell. Youth and Rec.
They have a couple of things going on. They have the Extreme Teen Camp, which is for grade 7, 8th, and 9th grade. That's the week of July 24th. And the on-stage theater program starts on Monday and runs through August 3rd. And for more information about those is on their website or their Facebook page. And Silver Lake Summer Hoops is July 17th to the 21st at the high school for grades 1 through 12, and their website is silverlakesummerhoops.com.
Thank you, Kim. PTO?
They didn't meet, they won't meet again until September.
Okay.
They get a new, yes, a new vice president. Oh, and it's come from, it's going to be the new vice president.
So now they have a full board.
Yep.
Great. Capital budget. Well, we're going to talk
We'll
about the
talk under
MSBA
PA.
later. And building safety. So admin review did not meet. Oh, everything's
You
split.
were on page 2.
Yep.
Union 31 did not meet. Oh,
We
wait.
did not meet. I did just want to mention that we will be needing to hire a new assistant superintendent. So we have an interview subcommittee that is set up and will be meeting starting next week, and then the following week, we'll be doing some interviews, hopefully. The position is appointed by school committees. It's a school committee appointment. So my hope is, if I'm really lucky, to be able to bring forward a couple of candidates in August, if I can fast track it, to have it done so that we would hopefully have somebody not too long after school opens. It's in a very important position. We don't have a lot of administrators, so it's adding a whole nother layer to my
The
plate.
workload?
Yeah.
Does that mean we have to have a meeting in August?
We will need to have a meeting if I can pull off getting them in August, but it would only be a Unit 31 meeting, so we combine it with Silver Lake, and it would be when the committee would interview the candidates, and then an appointment would be made.
Okay.
So that would be in August if I'm lucky. I
Okay.
don't know if we can pull that off, but that's my goal.
That'd be great if we started the new year off.
Yes,
You just send us an email about
absolutely. Yep, as fast as I can move the process along.
And I thought Christine was going to come tonight for the last.
Yeah. She sends her best wishes, I'm sure.
From Maui.
Yeah.
Stop. Okay, Mr. Beaudry.
All right. We have a report tonight, so we'll start, actually, it's not on the report, but we have 3 announcements. We have 3 babies since our last school meeting.
You've been busy.
I was just gonna say that. Oh, you look great.
No, that was the opening of last school year.
So, I know.
First day.
So June 16th, Miles Belsky was born,
Right, this one's for
Jen
Karen.
Belsky's son. On June 30th, Liz O'Grady had her son Xavier O'Grady.
Oh,
I like that too.
And on July 3rd, Jess Shaw had her baby, and her name was William Shaw.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So moral of the story is don't drink the water in this building.
It's almost all three, just
Yeah.
like right off the bat, so. They've been sending along pictures, so we wish them the best. Our enrollment is over 600, so right now we're at 602. Which we haven't been at for a while. So,
It was.
It's still early before the year starts, but we have an incoming kindergarten class of 92, which stays pretty much the same as we had this year. I think we're at 95. And only a few move-outs throughout the year, so we'll keep you posted on that number. And obviously, you were walking through the halls, there's a lot of projects and things going on here. Aside from the new roof that's coming in, our custodians have I've already worked in the back part of the building, cleaning out the classrooms, just taking out all the furniture. Brian and I added to that scheduling, I won't say disaster about this. Obstacle, we're moving some classrooms, like we're relocating third, fifth grade. So as an added piece of, scheduling and moving classrooms to different locations in the building. But our custodians have been doing a great job, they're staying on schedule. We're just trying to make sure that we stay ahead of things, just to be on top when the roof project does actually start and get the ground running. That we'll have a good chunk of the building that's cleaned out and ready to go for teachers to come back in. That's our, one of our biggest concerns is making sure the building is open and teachers can get back into their rooms and get them set up, because we did make a few moves in the roof. So we're in a good place. Besides that, we're painting a couple classrooms, painting a couple hallways. Colors haven't been chosen yet.
I was gonna ask.
It'll be a surprise. Everyone comes back in the fall. That's about it. Yeah.
We say goodbye to two teachers. We say goodbye to Mrs. Kearney and Mrs. Dagler. Both of them. I think Mrs. Kearney kind of snuck out of the building, maybe. Mrs. Dagler gave everyone high fives.
Yeah.
Yep, we say goodbye to them, and we are welcoming 4 staff members. So officially, Sarah Machado will be our adjustment counselor. She spent some time at Whitman Hanson about 10 years ago, some time in Plymouth, took some time off to raise her children. Then she was working for North River for the past several years, working under a grant at Whitman Hanson, at those elementary schools in Hanson. So she'll be our adjustment counselor. Looking forward to that. Christina Jocelyn will be our new kindergarten teacher. She comes to us from Holbrook. Before that, she was in Rockland. She was a former student of
Unbelievable.
Joyce. So,
Seriously, Kane says, I'm going to recommend you to our superintendent. Her name's Joy Blackwood. And Christina says, she was my 6th grade teacher. I had her on Cape Cod in 6th grade. I'm like, this is like not good.
Your world is just going like
It's just
this.
going like this. I know. I'm like, how did that happen?
Oh my goodness.
She looks exactly the same. She's wonderful. And it's just her smile's the same. It was so much fun.
we're excited about her. She came in today actually to look at her classroom. Laura Cushing will be our new special ed teacher for grade 3. She comes to us from New Bedford. She's been a few years in New Bedford, so she'll be joining us. And Tiffany Easter will be our long-term teacher in kindergarten this year. So she
Long-term
comes to us
sub.
from Brockton. So,
Long-term sub.
So the other one is permanent?
Yeah.
and-
Yep.
okay.
So we welcome those new staff members. I'm excited.
Tiffany's taken over Jen Gus's long-term, so,
She's out for the year, maternity leave.
and this will be the one going up to 6th grade. I think I mentioned
So now, will
shuffling.
Mrs. Whitney go back to kindergarten and will refill the 6th grade position? Or it depends on how things go?
Yeah.
Yes, and see what,
Right, and we also have Mrs. Orcott is going out in February.
February, yeah.
So we'll have a
Love her.
5th grade opening.
so we're gonna keep an eye on it and see what Mrs. Belsky wants to do when she comes back. So,
Yeah.
And how Mrs. Whitney feels. I think she's gonna love it. I think it's really gonna really
it's a
work
great
for her.
opportunity. She seems really excited about it.
Cool.
The only other piece there is the Title I summer school. Again, we're offering it for kindergarten to 2nd grade. It's roughly 3 weeks, Monday through Thursday, starting on Monday. It starts the 10th and ends on the 27th. And it goes from 8:30 to 12. And what's new this year is that it's being housed at Dennis. So Brian and I and Mr. Benito are making visits over there to make sure that we say hello to everyone, make sure things run smoothly. And that's new this year, because last year we held our own program here in this building.
With the roof project.
Yeah, let's not have the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus it's air conditioned.
Yeah, I was just gonna make that comment too, yeah.
That's not too bad.
They're high rollers in Plimpton.
That's it.
Do you have any idea when the kindergarten placement letters are going out?
Hey, let's see next week.
Who's passing?
So you don't know?
I came in yesterday, I was in the building yesterday, and the kindergarten teachers were doing some final movement of placements, balancing it. So I think they were pretty close, but they were in on their own time this summer, making sure the classrooms were balanced. So I chatted with them for a few minutes. They're definitely working at it. Yeah, that's a big one.
I want to say next week.
What?
I think next week.
She said she was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, what? No?
yeah.
Oh, the cell phone field trip?
Cell phones.
He was trying to figure
I bet you
He's got a
loved
great
that
smile,
day,
doesn't he?
huh?
I'm sure people know that,
Allison might not, I don't know if you know.
About
Should we?
Yeah.
it's on Facebook, it's, you're on social media, it's out there.
Yes.
Well, if you're not in Halifax locals, you may.
No, I am.
Okay.
So just to kind of recap, our sixth grade team, when they went on a field trip to Gillette, they got into a minor bus accident. The teachers on the bus, they communicated with the school, we communicated with Joy, we got the message out. Our sixth grade team, and everything went smoothly, just as everyone had kind of planned. It was great. No injuries, the word got out pretty quickly, and the students got off to their field trip, and it was great. So what our sixth grade has historically done, well before my time, is that they have not allowed cell phones on the field trip.
Kudos to you. That's my 2 cents.
And I never had a problem with it. I don't believe Brian had a problem with it. It's never really come up until now. And to be honest, I think when we were trying to get the message out, Joy and I, we were back and forth trying to get the information, but we also wanted to get everything out as quickly as we could. We were getting phone calls from people who were at the scene, whether it were some students that may have taken their phones or parent chaperones or something, but the word was getting out. And we were, and I think that's maybe possibly where the Facebook
I think someone
discussion
who was
hit.
on the bus, I think commented on the Facebook thing.
Right.
So they were getting their information from Facebook before you.
Yeah,
Exactly. And that's why we were trying, Brian and I were trying to communicate with the teacher saying, let everyone know, stop with the social media so we can get the right message out from the school, from the district, and then we can
That's
move on and
hard.
get these kids to the location that we want to. But anyways, the discussion happened on Facebook. It was back and forth about what the policy should be and what it is. We had a long discussion at our recent admin meeting, and all the administrators kind of shared their input on what they do in the buildings, and it's, what I think we all came up with is really what we do here in the school is that if students have cell phones, it's the way of the world, but what the policy is here in the building is that they're allowed to have them, and they'll be off in their backpacks. And I have no problem with that being the policy we have on field trips. We've never had to deal with it on field trips before. I know that if it were with my own personal children, they can have it, it's off, it's in their backpack, and it's used responsibly and appropriately. If not, we take the phone.
But now on the field trips, they don't have their backpacks. So what are they supposed to just leave them in their backpack in the school? Is that what you do?
Well, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the original policy, maybe it wasn't a written policy, was there were no cell phones on the field trip at all.
Right.
We did send a note, our sixth grade team sent out a notice before and said, no cell phones
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
And then the next week, our 5th grade followed suit. We just made, because of everything that happened, we said, we're following the same
So
suit.
they leave it in the class or they left it at home?
Yeah, they didn't bring it up.
It specifically states that in the handbook. The school-
In the handbook?
That's it.
Yeah, it needs to stay in the backpack, so.
I think the year before, when the sixth grade went, a lot of kids didn't follow that. And that's why a point was made by the teachers beforehand, because there was a lot of trouble with the children on the bus with their cell phones.
What are they, like, texting each other?
They were taking pictures
Pictures.
of students and posting it and just doing things that.
Making fun of other kids?
It's difficult to monitor.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now that you can use them as phones, you can use them as social
Cameras.
media, you can use it as anything.
And I
So
think
it's-
that's why the sixth grade teachers in advance of field trips said, it is our policy that there are no cell phones.
What happens if a child gets separated on a field trip and doesn't have their phone?
Well,
Not every student has a phone anyway.
yeah,
And they're with chaperones, I mean, they follow whatever protocol that.
I mean, what happened when we were kids? I mean,
Yeah.
I never had a cell phone growing up. I traveled cross country without a cell phone. I mean,
Well, I mean, my
I traveled to
kids,
Australia.
yeah,
When I was
no, I mean, my kids didn't have cell phones at that age, so from what, reading both sides, people freaking out, my kids should have the phone. Even one parent said they wanted their kid to hide it and to bring out, like, teaching their kid, don't listen to Mr. Bodger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was
I mean, I feel
quite-
like that's gonna happen anyway, but,
Well, I'm just
But how
concerned about
many-
things like the training that you guys recently did in the building. What if a kid's in a closet someplace hiding and doesn't have their cell phone?
That's why they do the training, so that the teachers and the other adults in the building know the proper way to respond.
What was your response? Did you get a lot of irate parents because they didn't have their phones, or did you just get a couple, or?
No.
I didn't have any.
The whole
Oh.
discussion was on.
No.
yeah, it was,
I didn't, I actually, did you get any?
No, I think Mr. Booker, Kane and I really like the letter that sixth grade sends out to teachers, and it's like lists, the
The
rules
reasons,
and
right.
regulations.
Right.
And I think maybe we should use the universal school one for field trips, because I think there might have been maybe mixed reports, maybe fifth grade, it wasn't specified in the rule, don't bring your cell
So
phone.
use
So
a-
you go from fifth to sixth now, and now a rule in force, where it wasn't, where I think if we just have a universal school rule on field trips.
That's a good
Rule
idea.
number one.
Right.
And I think we pass that out at every grade level.
And all the chaperones have one, right?
So-
So-
The adults
Right,
have them, all the adults
right.
have them.
And I have to say, we will probably be looking at, when we do policy, is looking at adults, the chaperones using social media on field trips, because that's an issue more than,
that's a
actually, the
good
adults
point,
are worse,
actually.
because the adults mispost information. I don't know if that's a word, but post incorrect information, I guess is the sentence I was trying to get at. And that is something that's happening in schools throughout Massachusetts, is the actual chaperones are more the issues sometimes. They might take pictures of students that they shouldn't, not intentionally.
Right.
But, maybe they think it's a neighbor and it's okay, but it might not be okay with that parent to post a picture on a field trip, or to post information about the field trip. Because really, the information should be coming from people who know what's happening. It's as in real time as we can get there, to get the information out. So I think it is something we'll be looking at. It was something that was discussed at another school in the district who was concerned, but it's happening all over. Sometimes the chaperones are, I think, trying to be helpful,
Right.
but in the end, it doesn't always have to be that way.
And when I saw the discussion, I honestly didn't see the advantage of a student having a cell phone, because I think the result would have been
Chaos.
Right,
100 kids texting, our bus just got into an accident.
exactly, and the parents
And then
going,
the parents text back, "Well, what happened, are you okay?
Okay, right.
You don't hear anything.
Right, right,
Which
yeah.
is what
Right.
they do.
Absolutely.
And then you've got a million phone calls coming into the
Right,
school.
right.
Well, what's going on? Is my kid okay?
Right.
Instead of just being able to wait and say, there was an accident, everybody's fine, they're waiting for an bus, they're going out.
Right.
I mean, you had an email blast out in minutes.
we
It
were
was so fast.
pretty quick.
It was in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were out as pretty quick from when, the actual minute it happened, counting it out. So, what we could do too is, we could make sure that we use a letter that's very clear, use the consistent letter as a point. I think
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I think that may be the way to go. I think the
Even-
agenda's already going out to print, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we couldn't add it in there, but we could at least have it for other Facebooks.
Situation kind of overshadowed how well
Yeah.
situations
It's handled.
Well, I
Absolutely.
take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
by the parents
Mm-hmm.
who reacted unbelievably, even with the person, in the other car.
Yeah.
Before the paramedic showed up.
Yeah.
Just the way the EMT works. I think we are supported, our administration came over, the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
schools to see if we're okay.
Yeah.
And then once again.
Which is what all the schools do.
We were in contact with the teachers, and then we felt we could blast something out, we did, so.
Right.
All in all, everyone handled it great.
Right.
And I think it got overshadowed a bit.
I would definitely agree with that.
I don't think we could have done anything different. It's
Yeah.
extremely difficult to monitor all those cell phones and what they're doing. A student, they might just be taking pictures of themselves at, a great event, and then others that could be posting something.
You're trying to prevent, a bad situation on the bus with a cell phone, something that a kid could do that, then a parent's gonna come back and say, oh, this kid took a picture of my kid, we posted it on Instagram, why do you have it, cell phone, it's kind of a lose-lose either
Right.
way, and I think, you can't monitor all those kids on the bus, and the only answer is to tell them
Yeah.
they can't do it.
And do you have, just thinking of like a parent saying, well, my kid has asthma or severe allergic or whatever the situation is, so they're nervous about their kid not having a cell phone. Does the teacher on the bus have the parents' emergency information, or do they have to call the school?
No,
and
they
say,
have it with
"Can
them."
I-" oh, okay, cool. I'm just trying to think
And
of
they carry
other.
medications too, if it's
Yeah,
a situation.
absolutely.
If you've got a
Yeah.
kid with a nut
Right.
allergy, they have the EpiPen.
But I'm just trying to think of like the parents who want their kid to have a phone and that's their reason. We can go back and say the teacher has all the emergency contact information or something were to happen. You know what I mean? Like I understand, your
Yeah.
kid is
Right.
highly
Yeah,
allergic to
right.
something and you're, setting them out on that field
Right.
trip.
I mean, that's like an extreme situation. I mean, I'm just,
I think the point is
Yeah.
too, is that field trips are not mandatory. If you're not comfortable with your child going on
That's
a
a good
field
point.
trip without a phone, then perhaps maybe you shouldn't send your child.
Or go on the field trip as a chaperone,
Right.
which often
I mean,
happens
there
if we have a
are
child with a
other-
medical issue.
there
Yep,
are
that's
other
another good point.
alternatives
Yeah.
to,
And they can be right there.
my
Yeah.
kid's not going unless he can take a cell phone. Well, then I guess your kid's not going.
That's exactly what happened with
Right.
sixth grader. We had a diabetic sixth grader who does a lot of his reports right on his phone. And on his phone, so there's communication, so she was a chaperone.
Oh,
Yeah,
She was with him.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just trying
we try really
Yeah.
hard to accommodate. As I said, unfortunately, there are situations that are no-win. I think this is
one.
I think this is one of them,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I think, I do want to commend Kane and Brian and all the sixth grade teachers, because, truly everything was handled really well. They met the bus when they came back, the teachers checked in with all the kids, any students that we had any concerns about.
Were any of the kids really upset and
Not at
able
all.
to chill out to enjoy the day?
teachers were great.
Yeah, yeah,
It comes.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, no, there
because
wasn't-
I've
it was-
been-
it was,
I've
it
never
was
had
very
anything like
minor.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of traumatic for some kids, so
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that all worked out well.
that's good to hear.
Very positive reports from everyone. Even when they came back, Brian and I and Mr. Collins, we all checked in with the teachers and students. It went very well.
okay, thank you.
Glad everyone's okay.
Yeah, that's most important. Christine?
Thank you. Tonight is our closeout. So we successfully made it through our 2017 budget year. In your package, it follows the minutes. So in front of, on the first page, it says memorandum, and it says Halifax School Committee. And this is our closeout. So we start with just reflecting what our budget was. And if you recall, at town meeting, the town of Halifax transferred $156,000 to help us with our out-of-district special education tuition account. And then the town also allowed us to move money for a surplus we had in our vocational account to the budget to also help with the tuitions. So once we account for all that information and then for all of our encumbrances, so those are items that have either haven't been received yet, have not come into the building yet, or we don't have an invoice for. So those things were all ordered during the year, they just haven't come in yet. Some of those projects may be in place, but these are the items that we have not received invoices for, so they're not in our account as expended. So once we account for all those items, we have a surplus between our regular day and out-of-district special education that would be returning back to the town, $43,492.59. Of that, we've had some highs and lows. Some of the surpluses that existed is our substitute account, which in the past has given us some trouble. We have a significant surplus in that account this year. We also have a surplus in our homeless transportation. We did not have to use that to the extent that we have in the past. And then our gas account also has a significant surplus. Those are offset by all of our deficits, but we're not doing quite so well. One of those is we had talked about earlier in the year, our electric account, but we did increase that budget for next year. And one of those items that we were paying for on a monthly basis for a previous project, an energy project, has fallen off our bill so that we're no longer paying for that. And then our out-of-district special education, we've had a really difficult time in the tuition and transportation account. When you see this financial, on the regular day and special education, we're returning at that surplus. But in our out-of-district vocational piece, we have a deficit of $415.19. I just wanted to mention that because that was one of the items on the front page where the town had allowed us to move the surplus, and we thought we had calculated it every single day. But what happened is this year we had a lot of snow days, and we send our students to Bristol County and Norfolk County, and we had to transport students more than 180 days because of the way their days fell when their snow days were. So we actually incurred an additional day and a half of invoices that we need to account for. So that's why we have a slight deficit. The town does know about that, and what's going to happen is tomorrow, after this has gone to the school committee, I'll be sending transfers to the towns so that each of those lines, the way the town budgets will at least have a zero balance. So we won't be passing on any deficits. But that $43,000 is the net amount at the end of where we'll be at the end of this year. And the only other thing I wanted to bring up is our school lunch account. They have not calculated the final amount yet. They were busily doing that today, getting all the information. If there is a deficit, it would be just a minor one. They really think that they felt that they had just eked through this year and had a positive balance. So we don't have that's not going to be coming up a balance unless it does end up that there is a deficit. Are there any questions? We made it through the year successfully.
Yay!
We did have a few hurdles.
Quite a year, quite a year.
The town was very cooperative.
Yes.
That's helpful.
It was great we were able to return the money because the town was very kind to help us when we had a special ed deficit. So it was wonderful to be able to return the $43,000 to help
The
offset that.
surpluses that generated that allowed
Yeah.
us to be able to do that.
Right, just the money wasn't in the right categories, which is sometimes the way it goes.
If you have any questions, please let me know.
And thank you to Christine. This is a huge amount of work, and I'm not sure if people understand, but between all 5 budgets, we have the 4 different school committees plus the joint, it's close to $45 million, and we have to close out all of them within a 2-week span. So our office is...
We are spinning.
That would be an understatement.
Medical plates on those sticks.
Yes,
That's
I
what it's like some
Just
days.
have nightmares of numbers.
Yeah. Lot of decisions, so Christine and our accountant Melanie are putting in extraordinary hours right now, so
But we got there.
we got there.
So while I'm thinking of it, did the cafeteria workers leave something at the town hall for us to sign?
It was here, and I think we probably just signed it.
I think
It's in
did
the
you bring it
file.
over?
Because I got an email about
I
it.
think it's probably.
Okay,
Okay, was in there?
okay, good. I just want to make sure that's all.
Tonight's warrants.
All
Okay,
right,
great, thanks.
so Christine, you're all set. Mrs. Blackwood?
Thank you. So I just wanted to sort of do a follow-up, and I'm just going to share the information today, and it's about the money that was left and some of the struggles we had on the financial with special education. There's an article that I just am going to introduce tonight. I'm not really going to discuss it. It's called the Special Education Stabilization Fund, and it's an advisory from the Department of Education. When we found out we had a deficit, I had a conversation with Gordon Andrews, the chair of the Finance Committee, about whether or not they would want to use some of that to help offset the potential for ongoing special education costs. Because students move in, we haven't accounted for them, we have to pay those bills. So it's difficult to, to balance, to figure out how much to put in the accounts for our students. And also if we have a student who things don't go as well in a building, who may have to be moved to an outside placement, that may have some struggles. So the Department of Education put together what is called a stabilization fund. What it is basically, and I'm just going to do it sort of in simplified terms because it might be helpful to think about it. We had a balance of $43,000 this year. If our school system had a stabilization fund, we could move that $43,000 into the stabilization fund, and it would sort of be a savings account for if we needed money for an out-of-district placement or we had a special education cost. We couldn't use that money for anything but special education. The school committee would have to vote to allow us to use it, and the selectmen would have to vote. We don't have control. It isn't like our budget. It is completely separate from it. But it would be a place where when we have additional money, we could have our own savings account, so we wouldn't have to go to town meeting and say, we have a deficit. Because the money would already have been voted by the town. It's a school budget. It would just be a location when we don't expend all our funds where it could be held. So this is something that I will bring forward in the fall. We can talk about it. This is some information about it. You can look it up more if you'd like, but this is sort of it in a nutshell. But basically, it's like a savings account for special education. Again, we can't access it without your approval, without the selectmen's approval. So it has to be voted to establish it. I don't know how the town will feel. We have not done this before. This has happened in a lot of school systems because exactly what happened to us. School systems don't have money. Halifax was able to cover the deficit because they didn't have a big snow budget this year. The gods were good to us. You know what I mean? If you have a bad year with snow and all their free cash is used for, I don't know, overtime with the police or snow removal, whatever it may be, they may not be able to help us out, and it might cause an override, which I would never, ever want to do. I really wouldn't go down that path. This would be an opportunity to avoid that. I'm going to be talking about it at all of our elementary committees, because Silver Lake, actually, I don't even know if we could do it as a region.
We wouldn't do it.
I don't think we could do it at the region.
How could you?
Yeah, we wouldn't, because we actually don't have the money for the out-of-district, all goes back to the towns. But the 3 elementaries, I will be bringing this up. I don't know if the towns will want to do this or not, but it is an opportunity and a way of, the school budget's already been voted for the year. The money that would be left, like in a situation like this, could go into that fund so that there would be some money available if we had a deficit situation again. It also is limited to no more than 5% of the budget. So there's a limit on how much could go in there. Like there's a maximum.
The elementaries have their own?
Each one would have to have their own. Yeah, absolutely. And again, I'm not sure the towns will support this, but it's an opportunity. I just want you to have it. You can think about it, and then in the fall, I'm going to talk with you about it. If the school committee votes that they would like me to pursue this, I would then set up a meeting with the selectmen and the finance committee and see if they're interested.
So what would be the downside, just that you can only use it for?
I don't know what the downside would be. Personally, I can't see one. I think the only downside, I guess, would be that it didn't go back to the town for free cash. But again, this is the school budget. They weren't expecting to get any money back. It would then be used for the school at a later time. So to me, I don't see a downside, but I don't know if the town would agree.
If we dip into, we'll call it the savings account.
Yep.
If we had to dip into the savings account for something for special ed, and we have the special ed budget money over here, then we wouldn't have to use as much of this, and this could go somewhere else in our budget?
No, you can't manipulate.
You used it all up.
Yes, exactly.
You needed.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it can't be manipulated. It has controls on it. As I said, I personally can't see a downside, but it's not mine to vote. I'm
What
just
if you
providing an
don't use it?
opportunity.
How long does it sit?
Forever. I don't think it goes away.
But it cannot
It
exceed.
doesn't have a limit.
Yes.
I'm
It
sorry?
doesn't have a time limit. So
Do we
you
collect
can't.
interest on it?
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, interest is so low. Again, it's just a way that the town to me, I would feel like it gives a little bit of a safety net for the town. I can't control children who move into the district. I can't control if a child needs additional services. This would be a way that we have some control within our own funding. So to me,
But the town might not want it because they just want the cash back. You know?
exactly. And so I don't know how they'll feel about it. I'm just going to bring it up as an opportunity. So I just wanted you to have some time to read it, read about it, think about it. It's got some information on here. This is just sort of a quick synopsis, I guess, of it. I personally think it's a good idea. I will be bringing it to Kingston, Plimpton, and Halifax. I don't know how all three towns, I knew that. Kingston and Plimpton. It's only Monday too, isn't it?
Yeah, no. It's Thursday.
I have no idea where I am. Is it Thursday?
Yes.
You said Tuesday, you know better.
What year are we in?
I have no idea. I can't tell you what my life is like right now. Sorry. So I will be bringing it to all the towns, but I just am going to provide the information now, food for thought, and then in the fall, we'll discuss it a little bit more. If you have some more questions, we can take a vote if you're ready, when you're ready, and then if you vote to support the concept, I will then go before the selectmen,
Okay,
because it has to be supported by the towns.
gotcha.
Okay, so again, I think it's got good controls. I personally think it's a good idea, and, it's up to you and the towns what you think.
And as Joy said, it's not like we can just dip into it if
Absolutely
we feel
not.
like it. We have
Yep.
to have
Yep.
approval from the selectmen. We have to have a looming deficit in our sped account. It can only be used for sped.
Right.
So it is all kinds of controls. It's not just like we're having this little cash bank over here and we need a, new
Right.
basketball court, so
Right.
we're gonna go for it.
Right.
That's usually special ed is where the money's going.
Right.
It is.
Right.
Absolutely. It is, and again, we don't have choices on many of the situations. So, again, this is just sort of food for thought. And, part of, as I said, I've got a couple school committee members in some of my other districts that are particularly interested in this. But also when we have such a large number that we're returning, which is larger than we've been able to return before. I mean, this is wonderful. The town was very helpful. But that would have been an opportunity that this would have been particularly, a great place to put some of that in. The other thing I have is the foundation budget review. I don't know how much you follow some of the stuff from the Mass Association of School Committees, but basically the Foundation Budget Review Commission was developed by the Mass Association of School Committees, and they're asking to relook at the way the foundation budget is configured. The towns are not getting enough money per students, basically. So the school committees are asking all the towns to look at and to vote to support this work that has been going on for years with the Foundation Budget Review Commission. Silver Lake, Kingston, and Plimpton all voted it. Halifax School Committee came up before I was able to get this document ready for you last month. The other ones voted it in June, was what I was trying to get
Have we
at.
done this before?
I think there was some discussion about it, but I didn't have a handout and we didn't actually vote it. We have done some votes. One of the things that I've been trying to do is to bring forward some of the information that's happening statewide so that you have an opportunity if the school committee would like to support it. Kingston, Plimpton, and Silver Lake all voted to support the Budget Review Commission, and also the town of Kingston, even their selectmen voted to support it. Again, the towns aren't receiving enough funding to support the schools. So it's basically based on the income of the towns and the per capita cost, and the formula was developed in 1980-something, and John Creed, for those of you who know him, a long-term school committee member, used to say it was only known by 3 people, God, him, and somebody else who knows talking. So it's a very complex formula. So if you were interested in supporting this, this is a statewide initiative. Most of the school systems throughout the state have voted to support it. I would just welcome, and I would send a letter to them having Halifax added to the list. So if you,
Is this in our packet?
it was in your packet. It was sent ahead of time. And it's the MASC, the recommendations of the Mass Budget Review.
They just didn't take into account health insurance and the inflation and.
Special education is a particular issue with it.
I thought we did something similar to this, where we sent a letter to the legislature asking them to
We did that
Evaluate.
for,
it was at least a year ago.
yes, it wasn't this, though.
Okay.
It was,
So this is something that the MASC is spearheading?
Yes.
To try to
yes,
have a little more influence?
Yes.
Right.
yeah, exactly. And Allison, MASC is Mass Association of School Committees, so it's your group. I'm sorry, we use a lot of acronyms, as you know, in education. I just realized, I should have said that. Again, it's an opportunity, up to you if you would like to support it or not, but it is something that, a lot of people put a lot of thought into trying to get them to reconsider some of the impacts on the budget.
Yeah, I think it's great any way that we can, poke them to have them
Okay.
understand the struggling needs.
Okay. If someone was willing to then, if you flip it over, Lori, I'll make sure she has a copy of this as a Word document. It's basically the back is the whole thing, but I think just in the essence of time, if someone was willing to read that last paragraph, we, the Halifax, just obviously in place of the X, school committee, if you wanted to just read that as your motion, and I'll just make sure Lori has the whole verbiage for the minutes.
Okay.
Are we voting on this now?
I would like to, only because it is going before the legislature, and I'd love to get Halifax's name on the list. And I think it is going sometime within the third week of July.
Why are they bringing up preschool in here?
Preschool is part of budgets. You fund preschool students.
But that's part of, okay.
Yep, you fund special education preschool students. We have to educate them from 3 through 21.
Oh.
Could somebody make the motion?
If you want, again, if people are willing to,
Sorry.
just be that last sentence.
So just to summarize, it's basically just trying to get more money for schools.
Yes. It's a different way of configuring the amount the state gets. Right now, the formula is not
And this would
working.
help, but it's nothing to do with, I know it's got low income in here. Like it wouldn't affect Halifax any differently than, and it's good for Halifax either way.
Yes,
In other words, it's not restructuring it so that different schools would get different amounts. It's just.
it's a more equitable formula. It's
Right.
addressing more the issues.
Okay. So, do you want me to make a motion?
That'd be great.
So I make a motion that we, the Halifax School Committee, petition the 190th General Court of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to implement without further delay in the full recommendations of the Foundation Budget Review Commission.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the motion as read by Linda? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? So moved.
Thank you.
you,
Again,
Joy.
we're trying to try and stay on top and to,
Yeah, and
You know,
this
to
isn't
participate
like
in
binding
what-
us to anything.
absolutely
This is
not.
just adding our
No,
name to the
it's supporting
support.
our list to, consider reviewing the way the foundation budget is done.
And we'll probably hash it out some more anyway.
Of course, it'll never go through easily, but, the more people who sign up, the more chance they have of looking at it more closely, so. So we have the MASC early registration for the November conference. It is a reduced rate of $100. It's $375 instead of $475 if anybody's interested in going. It is in November, and it's the 1st through the 4th. We will need to have somebody go, well, we don't have to have, but normally someone from a committee would go on the Wednesday to vote to represent the committee.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And that's the free day. But if you would like to go and participate, I don't remember, did you go once? I don't remember, you did, I think you enjoyed it?
I did, yeah, I found it very informative.
So again, it sort of depends on what your schedule is, but if you think you would like to go, obviously it would be our benefit to sign up before July 15th, just to save the $100, not that it's going to break the budget, but if you're...
Every penny counts.
Yeah, exactly. So if anybody is interested, you don't have to decide right this minute, but if you could let Lisa Turcott know, my secretary, she'll sign you up and she'll make the PO for you, if you think you'd like to be able to go. And again, if you only want to go the one day on Wednesday, that is actually free. That's if you're not able to go the whole time.
Is it during the day?
It is during the
Yeah,
day.
it's like all day.
It's all day. It is. It's a long day. It is a long day.
It is, but it's cool. It's like,
It's well done.
they'll have, several different sessions going on at the same time, so you'll
so
get
not
a
one
list.
speaker,
No, I mean, they have keynotes, but they'll have, 20 different rooms divided out, and then they'll give you a list of what's going on. At 10 o'clock, there's, blah, 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 and you can pick, do you want to go to, what's it like to be the chair, or do you want to go to Robert's Rules, or do you, so you can pick whatever you want. Or lunch, there was the thing about lunch money one year, and, they provide all different kinds of things. So it's not everybody in one room all day long. There's a lot of moving around, a lot of mingling, a lot of vendors and stuff there for school stuff. It's actually kind of cool. You meet some people, have some lunch,
There you go. We completed reorganization.
We did. I apologize for taking that out of order. I didn't
No, that
see
was
it.
great. No, it's fine. You have voted on school calendar. It's quite a good color this year. Marigold, I think, is official. Good for your refrigerator, if you're so inclined. So we have that. August meeting. I don't know if you would like to hold an August meeting for Halifax. Traditionally, we have been able to cancel August meetings. As I mentioned, if at all possible, if we're ready, I would like to try to hold a joint meeting, not by choice other than by it's sheer necessity. So if I can get that completed, that will be my goal. We'll let you know as soon as we get to that point. But other than that, traditionally, there's not a lot going on in August to report. We have to close out, school hasn't started, so it's your call.
Right. So I'm assuming if we're going to have a joint meeting, it's not going to be August 7th at 7 p.m. or it could be, or it may not be.
It could be probably if we were going to hold it, we would, because we'd work around Silver Lake.
Yeah.
So the Silver Lake people probably have somewhat blocked in the August, second Thursday in August, whatever that date is. So we might hold it that night.
Second Thursday. Is that the second Thursday?
10th is the second.
Okay, so we might hold it by then, but to be honest with you, I honestly don't know that I can have everything done by then.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
think I
that's
can.
fine. I just want to make sure before one of my friends here makes a motion to
Yeah, I can't
not
imagine
have this
having it by
meeting.
then.
I
We did.
thought we did.
Yeah, we canceled it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, perfect.
We already did that. Perfect.
wow.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize we were that good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody read the minutes. I forgot that.
Deja vu all over.
Yeah, there we go. So I wanted to give you just a quick update on the roof project, just so you have it. Summer was able to come to the meeting. So we had a meeting with, a lot of people in the room.
Yeah.
Was there 15, 20 people
Yeah.
maybe? There was a lot of people in the room. And we basically went through, it was a pre-construction meeting, and we had the architects there, we had the people who awarded the contract, which are Capeway Roofing. The substantial completion date is August 18th, that's the goal, is to have the roof completed by then. They will be moving everything in next week is sort of what we're anticipating. We have a meeting next Tuesday morning, I believe. Yeah, Tuesday at 9:30 next week to sort of check in on how things are going. They're going to be working more or less, sort of kind of, from about 6 in the morning till 4. Kim Roy was there, and she assured us the neighbors would be fine. It was starting at 6 a.m., so hopefully that will work out okay. And they're working on getting the materials to the building inspector, because that was one of the things that hadn't happened yet. The order was about a month behind, but they believe they'll be able to get everything done in it. It's a pretty comprehensive schedule. And let's see. I think what else was really a part of it. We went through different security procedures, the contractor's use of premises. We even talked about where we were going to put the dumpsters. We talked about access to the back fields for the summer, for the baseball camp. I think we addressed a lot of the issues. It was a pretty lengthy meeting. It was good to see the people that would actually be doing the work. So I thought it went well. Kane was there, Brian was there, Matt was there. No, Kane wasn't there? Oh, no, you weren't there, that's right. Brian was there, and Matt was there, sorry. And you were able to be there, and actually Casey was able to come. She won't be able to come next week, but, you know, we'll continue to meet. We also, the new director of facilities started on Wednesday, and I've invited her to this meeting, and I'm sort of hoping she might be able to take over attending some of these meetings to sort of be the conduit. That would be really helpful at this point. So we'll see if that works. But if not, I will definitely be there on Tuesday. But we'll see if going forward, if that works. I think the plan is going to meet every, Brian, do you remember how often they said we'd hold meetings? Was it every couple weeks?
Couple weeks.
That's what I thought too. I think about every couple weeks, we're going to rehold a meeting just to check in, to make sure things are moving along, and how we'll go. The last roof that will be done on the building will be the gym. Just in case we have a lot of bad weather, in case things get slowed down for whatever reason, we could still open school with the Halifax, with the roof of the gym not being completed. Because we, you know, hopefully in September, we would be able to hold gym outside for a while. So that will be the last space that will be done. That's sort of our contingency plan at this point. But I think we have a good team on board. I think that people were all very cooperative, and you know, Brian and Kane and Matt have just been great about it. So I think we addressed all the issues that we had, concerns about any summer programs and safety and all those things. So it's been good.
In place, I mean, obviously weather is weather, but if they don't finish on time, they get fined or something?
There's different contingencies within the contract. The goal is substantial completion is the wording that's in the contract, and which would be, you know, the gym
We can
being the
open
end.
school and not delay opening of school.
Exactly. We have to open school. Well, we don't have to open school. I suppose I could put the children somewhere else. I don't know where, but we're opening school, or the town will be lynching me probably. No, we will be opening school. You know, again, the goal is substantial completion, and that is in the contract. And there are different fees and stuff if they aren't able to do. Yeah.
Financial
Incentives.
Yeah. And controls.
They seem pretty like
Yeah, they-
gung-ho, and they were psyched that as a town, we are letting them work so early. You know,
Yeah.
because in some places, there's like noise ordinances and things like that where they can't start so early.
Yeah.
So with them being able to start, you know, at 6 o'clock in the morning, they're hoping they can just,
Right.
through.
And they're
Plug
used to
away.
doing 2 shifts if they have to, you know, if they really get stuck. I mean, they did talk about that, so.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're hopeful. You know, again, I'll continue to go to the Tuesday meeting at least, and then if it works out, our new director of facilities might be
miss you.
going over that. Well, we'll see. I probably won't be able to not go, but we'll see. Part of my problem is learning to give it up, so.
yes, I can understand that.
Yeah. And then the last thing is you just have the final FY18 budget, which was what was voted by the town. So, and that's in your packet. That's just sort of for your records, just so you know. And it just has the last column, budget voted by town, just so you have it. This was the budget that we voted for next year. If you have any questions. That's all I had.
Awesome. So we don't have a school committee meeting in August, although we may call a joint one. Everybody's on the same page with that. We do need an executive session tonight, so I'm going to need somebody to motion to adjourn the public open meeting to enter negotiations, only to reopen the public meeting to adjourn.
So moved.
Is that sufficient, or does somebody have to read? Got it.
That technically you're supposed to.
Yes, I think somebody needs to read.
I'm gonna get a copy of Robert's rules.
To adjourn the public meeting and enter executive session, contract negotiation strategy with regard to the Teacher Association collective bargaining pursuant to MGL C 30A S 21A2.
Very nice.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.